And finally, the sad reality of trying to discover more Cambodian sites and explore Cambodia's jungles is what I mentioned earlier. Anywhere from 4 to 6 million explosives of tripwires, landmines, and booby traps are still scattering Cambodia's jungle floors. From what we know, around 100,000 people have died from accidentally stepping into these traps, but certainly there are many, many more that are killed and never found. Even wild animals such as tigers and elephants have been killed by these traps. LiDAR scans have revealed multiple large networks of ancient buildings concealed by the jungle canopy, but these are made completely inaccessible because the regions are utterly infested with landmines that may take centuries to clear out. Not to mention traps that may have been hidden within these uncharted temples back during the war to sabotage potential soldiers who come looking for shelter. On top of this, unexploded ordnance dropped by the US military are still lying around the jungle waiting to go off at the slightest bump. I saw dozens and dozens of these unexploded shells, and even falling trees can set off dormant missiles and landmines. The sad reality is that modern-day Cambodians are locked off from parts of their own ancient past because of the lingering effects of past conflicts, and everyday farmers are being killed by accidentally setting off these traps. But a silver lining is that a man named Aki Ra, who I had the privilege of meeting, has spent his life disarming and clearing the jungle floor foot by foot. Literally. So far, he has disarmed over 50,000 landmines, tripwires, and unexploded ordnance by hand, completely on his own. His parents were murdered during the war, and he was raised as a rebel and taught how to plant and arm the explosives himself. Eventually, he escaped, and he decided to dedicate the rest of his life to disarming the explosives he spent his childhood planting. I absolutely loved the expedition to Cambodia. The people were some of the friendliest I've ever met, but unfortunately, ancient Cambodian history is so understudied and so locked off by the effects of the turmoils of war. So many secrets and hidden aspects of their ancient past are just sitting out in these deadly jungles waiting to be discovered. The other downside is I was completely drenched in sweat the entire expedition, and I was always on the lookout for a king cobra. I am beginning to learn that the downside to all of the world's coolest places is always snakes.